Hello, dear friends. Feeling into this beautiful wind that's come. And placing my hands in the ground, I'm just giving thanks to the spirit of the land where I am. Welcoming in all the benevolent beings that are here to join the sacred space. The beautiful cedar friend, and to your beautiful heart. We're all on our own journeys, and again, I'm here just to share part of my journey and my learnings with you. So grateful. So I had a couple of weeks ago a practice that I synced into quite intuitively, actually. I had, there's some stress in my life, and that ended up going into the mind, into my mental stress. And then, just like a lightning bolt, I had this flash of intuition to drop into an energetic practice to create sort of a whole shift, what I call is a shift from fear into love, which then changes the whole energetics. So this little talk I want to share with you, what I'm talking about is radiating your heart light in order to be able to shift out of fear and into love. So fear can come from two areas, and I share this a bit in my last video about the external and the internal. So we can have an external threat in your real environment, like a bear comes up and you better run, or you can have internal threats of fear which come from your mind. And this is what I was dealing with a couple of weeks ago. When you have an external threat, you just like the internal threats, you'll have like a recognition, right? It always comes to the awareness. There's a recognition that you have an internal threat. That external threat might involve or not your your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight and reaction to be able to deal with the external threat. And then you would deal with your external threat, with the fear response, whatever has come up, to be able to keep you safe and to help you to survive. And then you drop back down into your space of neutrality, right? Now, more so what I want to talk about is the internal threats. And this involves the same process where you have an internal threat being your mind. And the first step is always the recognition and the awareness of what your mind is thinking, the awareness of your thoughts. So you become really intentional about what you're allowing and what you're choosing to entertain, right? Because unless that awareness drops in, you're like unconsciously caught in this chain reactions of thoughts and dramas and triggers and reactions in this whole train ride that is just kept you caught in loops of fear. So I just want to bring in the quantum field because, I talk about multidimensionality and that we are multidimensional beings living in a quantum field, in a quantum universe. So the quantum field contains particles that exist in an infinite potentiality. So when you become like really intentional about something through your thoughts, which are energy, you influence the behavior of the fields, right? This is like a really important concept to understand because everything is energy and our thoughts are so powerful. So when we become aware and consciously, intentionally being aware of our thoughts, that's where the magic happens, right? This is one of the laws of the universe. This is how we manifest things through intentionality that we project into the quantum field. So here's just the practice that I wanted to share that I did the other week. That was just so powerful. And in these videos that I'm doing, I'm repeating the same things over again, maybe just a different little analogy, but it's all coming from my heart. It's all from the wisdom that I'm learning and the teachers that I'm watching and listening to, and just divine guidance, right, from your intuition, from your heart, from your superpower. So we're talking about going from fear to love. So there's a threat that happened, whether it's an external threat or an internal threat. It happened, right? If it was external, you dealt with it, it's over, back to neutrality. If it's internal, the same thing, awareness and observation. Again, I like this, just like observing your human, right? Observing like, oh, what's going on upstairs? What's happening up there? And if it is a fear that is internal, so from your mind, I think, and a really important step is that you need to consider is that what does your human need? You know, not pushing anything away, because that everything that's coming up into your experience, everything that's that you are experiencing needs to be fully experienced. So what do you need to feel? You know, what do you need to allow? Do you need to cry, to laugh, to move, to dance, to swim, to sleep, to meditate, just to breathe? Do you just need to sit and breathe? Do you need to go lay on the earth and absorb in all of her beautiful energy? Do you need to have a bath? Do you need to write some things down? Do you need to call your bestie? So this is really important, right? Just feeling and allowing, and I'm just learning this so much for myself, that everything that's coming up, all these feelings, don't do that. Has to be allowed in, has to be allowed in, has to be completely felt. That's why we're here as humans, to feel everything, and it's like the wind, right? It just passes through you, it transmutes, but it has to be felt, has to be felt, as hard as it is, right? Here's the hard earth school. You know, all these things that are coming up, it's not easy, right? It's super hard, requires courage and trust. So back to the practice. So create some sacred space for yourself. Now, this is what I love, just sitting on Mother Gaia and connecting into the beautiful divine relationship that I am with her. But if you can't be outside and you're just sitting inside somewhere, you can use your imagination, right, your third eye, to connect in somewhere. So if you want to imagine that you're sitting on a mountaintop, or you're sitting by a river, or you're in the ocean, and you're sitting on the beach, or you're in a forest, or whatever space you are, use that imagination to take you there. And then come into your breath. So this is the first steps: awareness, breath, body. The sooner that you can recognize your fear, mind, and then drop into your breath and start slowing your breath down. Now, it's taken me a while to tell you this, but it's really only takes a couple of minutes to actually do this. The longer time that you have, the more that you're going to be able to drop in and to really sink into this resonant frequency that I'm taking you into. But the breath, you need to slow it down. And the slower on the exhale is the key. So big breath in, ideally like belly breathing in through your nose. And then it's like a pause at the top of the inhalation, so a long pause, and then super slow exhale. The exhale needs to be slower than the inhale. So this is activating your vagus nerve, activating your parasympathetic system, bringing you into ease and calm and peace and just this calmness, right? So you're sinking into the breath body, and then bring your attention into your heart space. Now, I was just thinking that someone recently asked me, like, how do I breathe in and out of my heart? Isn't that using my mind? Because I often give this analogy, like, breathe in and out of your heart. Well, yes, you do have to use your brain to be able to recognize like where your heart is. And I do that, like have a mental, right, sort of thought of breathing in and out of my heart. But then that's just dissolves. The mental part of it just dissolves, and you're left just being in the space of your heart. And the more that I'm feeling into the space of my heart, sometimes it takes me a minute or two. You actually activate this area through your intention of wanting to hold up residence here, hold space here. And for me now, I can actually feel this area of my heart when I pay attention to it. So breath, long breaths, feel into your heart, and then bring to mind like a person, a place, an experience, like a memory you have, or like I said, a person or a place, where it brings feelings or thoughts of joy, just like such happiness, laughter, peace, just gratitude, thankfulness, just caring. So it has to be, you have to have this like sensory experience. So it's like a feeling that you're bringing up. You can't pretend for the feeling to be there. It won't work. You actually have to feel, right? So take time. I often bring back these images, that have just like radiated me into like such joy and happiness experiences that I've had. So bring those feelings in and just sit with them while you're feeling into your heart space, right? And now you're building this energy in your heart chakra, right? In the divine portal of your heart. You're expanding this energy. And I've been sharing with you about learning about heart coherence. So this is the practice of heart coherence that you are now receiving the guidance of your superpower, of your divine heart portal when you are doing these practices and amplifying the energy of the heart. You are tapping into this incredible portal of your divine intuition and your wisdom, your internal compass. And remember with heart coherence that there is more information going from your brain to your heart, from your heart to your brain. So you want to activate this, and that activates mental clarity and calmness and higher intuition and like whole body health, and it activates your various hormonal systems, and all the systems of your body helps them just to integrate into this coherent state. It is such a practice of self-care. So, okay, so we're breathing, we're feeling, we're activating this area. And then, whether you're sitting on the earth or not, imagine that you've got energy roots that are coming out either the soles of your feet or out of your root chakra. Now, send your energy roots into Mother Gaia. So imagine them just penetrating into the ground. And feel into the sacredness and the wisdom of the soil, our ancestral DNA that's in the soil, and just connect in with the earth and take your energy roots. I imagine them like sort of like waves, like going all the way through past the bones of our ancestors, past the crystal bed and all the various layers of the earth until you reach into the heart of Mother Gaia, which I often imagine of being like a diamond light, and attaching your energy roots and breathe. Hi, Raven. Breathe in and activate your sacred connection with Mother Gaia by breathing in her love up your energy roots and breathing out your love. down your energy roots and just spend a minute here activating this beautiful divine relationship. You are nature. We are not any separate from nature. We are nature. We are from the earth. You know, we go back into the earth. So I just love sitting in this space and sitting in this beautiful energy of connecting in with the mother through my intention. So, and what's so amazing is when you're in this coherent state, you're at the same resonant frequency as the earth. And so your, what I call your heart light, when you're doing this practice, not only projects into your auric field, you are sending it into the collective fields, what the Heart Math Institute calls global coherence. They're doing so many amazing studies of this and learning what's happening is people all across the planet are sending their heart light into the earth, and globally what that is doing and how that is causing a shift on the planet. Now, that's it. That's the practice, and it's so beautiful. It is so quick to do, to be able to just the recognition, the breath, breathing into your heart, dropping into those feelings, sending it into your field, and then imagine just sending it out into the earth. And when I started this, I was telling you about an experience that I had. It was kind of like I had an outer experience of stress, which brought fear. And then I was aware that then my mind hooked onto that outer experience. Now I got the internal threat of the mind projecting the fear. And like I said, I had this beautiful drop-in of realizing that, wow, I can shift this right away. And so I went through this practice, and as I did this for, I don't know, like 10, 15, 20 minutes, not only did I completely shift my own reality and my own sort of energetic field, I was aware of the person that I was with as well, and this space that I was occupying, that I completely shifted the energy in that space and also helped to shift their energy. So there you are. So blessed to share, and I hope this helps you to be able to recognize when you're caught in sort of mental constructs of fear, of how through your intention and through your heart, the divine portal of your heart, and through your higher intuition of how you can shift and change. This is how we are shifting into new earth, and this is how we're helping everyone on the planet with the collective consciousness as we are going through this massive shift and change. Bringing in the light, projecting out the light. Love you all so much. Bye.